seated, please. Mr. Montoya, let's continue with your families at this time. Are you Carla?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. May I begin?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I told you at the federal sentencing that you were going to see me again. You and I did not get what we wanted. I wanted you dead, and you wanted me dead. I'm not here to make myself look powerful, but I'm here to remind you how powerless you are. You, Patrick Crucius, the white supremacist, who tried to bend me to my knees. You, Patrick Crucius, your voice trembled at your sentencing. It also trembled when you were handing your rights over. You did not come looking for my mom. You were looking for me. I can see you. I'm the one that can see you. The systemic racism that affects not just people like me or my mom, but all of us, including you. The system was not built for people like me or you. I kept repeating at the sentencing and how I can see you. And I'm going to tell you what I meant by that. We're both in the same system. The system that is built to oppress people like me. The system that was also built in the illusion and inflicted upon us through fear. The illusion in where white supremacy prevails on. but I can see you. You shook the hand of the same poison that poisons our country, that for long has been suffering from it. And you were expecting that somehow it was going to spare you from it. That you yourself were not going to suffer from the consequences of white supremacy. But look at you now. White supremacy spares no one. Any form of hate spares no one. White supremacy is the snake that eats its own tail. You are going to die like a coward. You who suffers from psychoaffective disorder, along with other things such as autism, one of the most stigmatized mental illnesses. I know that you have dealt with the same system that we all deal with or have dealt with. The system is not built for me, but neither for you. My mom is also proof that you have failed. Like I said, you can't hide from me. I see you, and I'm here to tell you that you did not win. The woman, my mother, who you killed, outsmarted you. The week before the tragedy, my mom spoke to me in regards of how she would want things to go if anything were to happen to her. In a deep conversation, she also let me know her thoughts and how I did as a daughter. And the rest is for me to keep, because I truly believe that you're still not worthy to know me as a person. but I'm going to speak of the woman that outsmarted you. I wasn't taught to be a good person. And I'm not here to tell you that I'm better than you and how good I am versus you. But I am going to share of the woman who raised me. My mom was a widow and the sole provider of our household. She worked full-time. This woman was so smart, so intelligent, astute, that even at 29, I can't seem to figure out how she did the things that she did. In childhood, my mom would choose the weekends to clean the house. But in that weekend, we were also taught how to fold socks and fold our underwear, uniform to place in our drawers. Was it fun? No. Me and my sister hated it. We sometimes even fought due to the fact that we didn't even want to do it. She taught me discipline. She also taught me how to get out of my comfort zone. As a child, I was very shy. And somehow, being a full-time employee, she found a way to get me out of my shell. Was it stressful? Yes. Was it uncomfortable? Yes. And I will forever be thankful for her, because I struggled a lot with self-confidence as a kid, as losing my father at a very young age. She taught me to be just and fair. I have wished that was also her demise. She taught me to speak against injustices or unfairness. And sometimes, even at this age, I think she took pride on that, because she would bother me just to make sure that I was still the daughter that she was raising. When I talk about her teaching me about being just and fair, I'm the middle child. And I was always in the middle, in between everything. To the point that my mom had to assign me and my younger sister color-coordinated dolls and toys. Fair enough, both colors had to be pretty. She got purple, and I got the ultimate pink. as I got older, those same principles started evolving. But still, my mother would test me. And I was never prepared. One memory that I have of her is we were shopping at a Walgreens, and there was two people that looked entirely different than us, spoke no English, no Spanish, entirely different than us. And somehow, that woman managed to go to where they were because she saw that they were struggling with something and said, "My daughter will help you," in Spanish. I'll never forget it, because I looked at her, and without looking at the people correctly, I tried to translate, or at least tried to help them with what they were struggling with. And I think about that all the time. Because even at her old age, she was still testing me. When the tragedy happened, we were all hoping that my mom had outsmarted you, or at least your weapon. We were hoping that somehow she still had it in her. And that was the one thing that hurt me the most. I believed that she didn't outsmart you. And that was impossible, because nobody could ever outsmart that woman. Even at 29. I can't believe that she straightened me out without me realizing. The first time I got caught lying, she would compare all the things that I wasn't capable of doing around the house. She would tell me, "How do you have the guts to lie, but you're not good at cleaning your room?" And that used to get under my skin so much that I would start to clean my room, because to prove a point to my mom that I am good at cleaning my room, that I am good at doing the dishes, that I am good at passing my classes, not realizing that she was changing my character. Till today, I'm not a good liar. I sweat, and I think I should be better at something else than learning how to lie. all of her siblings were there on August 3rd. Her sisters and her brother. And we were hoping that somehow she pulled a trick and that she escaped. But she didn't. And that thought haunted me. You also put a bullet through her head. The same mind that raised me. I struggled for a very long time. With the idea that my mom gave in. That you were so powerful that she couldn't outsmart even you. But I was wrong. She did, in fact, outsmarted you. You might have killed her, but her legacy will continue. Silly of you to think that white supremacy was going to spare you. Look at you. Someone that suffers from mental illness. The system is also built against you. You can't hide behind your mental illness as much as you want to run away from your guilt. You made a mistake. Your mistake was to use that weapon and pull the trigger, killing my mom. Though our skin colors are different and our backgrounds are different, and somehow you still or may not have the illusion that we're different, we are the same. Drinking poison from a golden cup is still poison. Patrick Crucius. You're going to pay for what you did. And you're gonna die a cowardly death. You were caught up in the same illusion that oppresses all of us. You made a terrible mistake by pulling that trigger and killing my mom. But I will remember my mom not as a victim, but as the astute woman that she was. I wasn't taught to be a good person. I was passed down wisdom. I will forever remember my mom as someone that even after death outsmarted white supremacy, outsmarted racism, outsmarted the systematic oppression. But above all, she outsmarted Patrick Crucius. A coward. That's all, Your Honor.
Sir, are you Luis?
Yes. My name is Luis Juarez Jr. My father was Luis Juarez Sr. My father was the oldest of your victims. He was 90 years old. You came into our city and killed a bunch of viejitos, old people, young people. You didn't care who they were, how old they were. You just wanted to kill. Who does that? You do. we're here to expedite your departure from our city. You're not getting the death penalty. So this is to get you out of our hair. You've been here long enough. You need to leave our city. The word coward has been floated plenty of times. So let me give you the definition of coward. A person who lacks courage in facing danger, difficulty, pain, etc. A timid or easily intimidated person. That's you. A flunky. I read a little bit about you, and you showed up to your college class drunk. I guess you remember that. So you were written up for that. So even before you came here, you were a flunky. I'm just wondering what your family thinks about you. We never heard of your family coming to any of your hearings, because they probably have to hide for the rest of their lives because of what you did. The schizophrenia that they claim that you suffer from, so a lot of people suffer from that. But they don't go out and kill a bunch of people because they're crazy. No, they don't. But you do. You did. No, it's your sickness goes much, much deeper. Much, much deeper. Because in that, there's white supremacy, racism. You think that people that don't look like you shouldn't be alive. You wanted to kill as many, say, Mexicans as you could. I hear that you were a big fan of the Christchurch killer. You're a huge fan. I don't know why. What drove you to that? Killed 51 people and you said, wow, he's my hero. Who does that? You do. Like many people before me are saying that you can't hide behind your mental illness. You can't. You can't. We see you for what you are. My father was a gentle soul, but he was also tough as nails because he was a welder, a master welder with the Iron Workers Union. It was hard work. He helped build the Civic Center here in El Paso and many other construction sites in other states also, besides Texas. He traveled. And I, as being the oldest, I saw how my parents struggled. It wasn't always easy. I saw firsthand how they sometimes didn't have enough money to do the things that they wanted because they had a family to raise. So they did without. They did without so that we could have a future. Then you came along and did this. My mother witnessed you murdering my father. And when she called out his name, you turned your weapon and shot her. Who does that? You do that. She's a survivor. She's still alive because you shot her in the arm, and she wears a steel rod to this day. And it's painful. It was painful for many years. She cannot live by herself anymore, so she lives with my sister Martha. And we don't dwell on you remembering. We don't care about you. We don't dwell on hate. Oh, we hate that guy for what he did. We don't talk about you. And when you leave this city, we're going to forget about you real quick. We came here to the United States, but we didn't come here to be helped. We came here to help and to contribute, just like the Italians and the Irish. They came here to work. We did too, and many other peoples from all over the world. We came here to contribute, not to be parasites. My parents did a great job raising us. My siblings and I, we prospered. We got an education. We had good jobs. And you came along and killed my dad. My parents have been married for 70 years. That's a lifetime. The great replacement theory. You remember that? You know about that? It's a theory. I just don't see you. I can't picture you working the fields picking lettuce or tomatoes. I can't see you doing anything with your hands except shooting a gun. Your mission failed. You made us stronger. You united us. And all that Kool-Aid that you drank from your buddies, that poisoned you. And look at you now. Where are your buddies now? They're still hiding under a rock. And then once in a while they come out, do their thing. But you believed in that. Who does that? Who falls for that crap? You do. You. I don't know if you really feel sorry for what you did. I think that white supremacists and people like you, they don't feel remorse. They feel like, well, my job is done. Well, after you killed 22 people and then the man that later died, 23, you said, okay, I guess I'm going to give up now because, well, I'm a coward. You're not going to be facing law enforcement with your weapon because you would have been killed, and that would have saved us a lot of time and money and heartaches. And now you have all this time to think about these things. I saw a picture of you with ear protection, shooting glasses, I guess. I saw that and I said, well, this guy came prepared. And then you made sure that you had hollow point bullets for maximum effect, right? Is that what you thought? Who does that? You do. When you're laying down in your cell and it's a quiet night, you're going to hear the screams. And you're going to see all the blood. Because guess what? Your brain recorded everything. And it's going to come back. Just lay still very quietly and you hear the screams. And you'll see the blood and the people that you killed. The viejitos. We're all going to be living our lives. We continue to live our lives, but yours is over. $30, $40, maybe 50 or more years, you're going to have to think about what you did. That's just, I don't know if you'd lived long enough. I don't know. You're not looking very good. Wonder if your family reaches out, tries to contact you. We don't know anything about them. All we know is that they're either very proud of you or horrified like the rest of the world because of what you did. I don't know. After a while, they're saying, I don't know, I won't be here in 20 or 30 years, but you will. Wake up every morning, get your little hour of exercise and whatever, then lock you up again. After 20, 30 years, I believe that you want to be dead. You wish that you had died in a shootout. But you can't because you didn't do it. You're a coward. And I read your definition of a coward, and now you know. What you did is unforgivable. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, I forgive you. No. I'm sorry. I can't do it. We miss our father every day. He was a good man, a hard-working man. So if you get in touch with your buddies that don't feel anything, they think that other people that are not like them should not live, I don't know, maybe you should give them some advice. Now that they will listen. Thank you, Anna. My sisters. Yes.
I'm Margaret, Your Honor. These are my parents. That's my older brother. I'm the youngest. Look at him holding her purse. It says it all. He put on the purse and say, I'm ready. Estoy listo. That's our father. My name is Margaret Juarez. Can you hear me? Because this mic has been a little wonky. Can you hear me? My name is Margaret Juarez. I first want to acknowledge the amazing courage and resilience of every family here today and others who were impacted by this racist terrorist attack on the El Paso community. Second, I want to say thank you to the DA's office and the awesome victim advocates who have been incredibly supportive. My parents, Luis and Marta Juarez, were at Walmart that morning, like all others, not because they were invaders of this country. No. They were decent human beings who contributed culturally, economically, and otherwise to this country. My father was one of the 23 people who were murdered that day by a homegrown terrorist, not by an immigrant. My mother lives every day with lasting
I'm going to do this. I'm going to be a big guy, and then I'm going to go run away. And what did you do? Oh, help me, help me. What happened to the tough guy that walked into the Walmart with all those poor old people? The little children. What happened to that guy? Why didn't he keep going? And why here? I'm going to tell you, you made the biggest mistake coming here, buddy. I've never been as proud as I was of El Paso community, the police department, the detectives, everybody in the DA's office. They've been amazing. And I'm so proud to see so many brown faces in these high positions. Thank God, it's about time. And it's only going to keep getting that way, Patrick, while your sorry ass sits in jail. Just remember that. You killed a 90-year-old man. But that man was driving, he was climbing ladders, he was doing his own lawn. But he didn't get to go home that day. We didn't know where he was. We couldn't find him at any hospital. It was a little bit of torture there, Patrick, but I'm glad you're there. I'm glad you're there. Because guess what? I'm going to leave here and maybe go have a margarita, go watch the sunset. And where's Patrick going to be? His sorry ass will be in jail for the rest of your life. And yes, may God have mercy on you and that stupid excuse of an illness, because guess what? Like everybody knows, not everybody goes and shoots everybody up when you're sick. So, fuck you, Patrick Cruzias, and fuck Donald J. Trump, because I know that he's your mentor. And that's about it.
You're Ruby?
He'll speak first.
Who's Ruby? You're Ruby. John Joe?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I would like to start this with a little insight of who my beautiful mother was and the bond I had with her. For several years, I worked in the oil fields of the Permian Basin. And I would not leave El Paso without her blessing. I would kneel and she would ask God for my safe return, a sacred bond that I miss with all my being. A month prior to August 3rd, 2019, I was promoted to a foreman position. As happy and excited as I could be, my mother was the first to hear the news. She was proud. We soon started bouncing ideas to each other, ideas of saving up for a place, a piece of land, and a mobile home in Socorro or the outskirts of El Paso. I was aware of her age, and I knew she wouldn't be able to work for long. The outskirts of El Paso were a perfect retirement place for my mom, as she would be able to feed chickens and plant all the vegetables she would want, only to have come home to a completely different reality. My goals and dreams were destroyed. I was left alone. I was left in the dark. Depression took over, and everything I had worked for was falling apart. I wasn't fit to maintain my foreman position. Little after that, I was pretty much at the brink of homelessness. It was such a dark time for me. After some time, I realized I had no choice but to continue. Here I am, a foreman in a different field of work, for a different company. With tears and pain in my heart, I made the decision to finish what my beautiful mother had begun. She taught me to push myself and to have a good work ethic. She raised a God-fearing man, and she also paved the way to the American dream. I thank her every day for her sacrifice of bringing my sisters and me to the land of liberty and justice for all. I will continue to walk towards the lamp next to the golden door. I pray to God that He never leaves my side, nor everyone who was affected by this horrendous act. I will try to make my mother proud every day. I would like to end this thanking my beautiful community of El Paso, Ciudad Juarez, for the love and support, and to everyone who kept us in their prayers. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. My name is Ruby Romero. And I am the youngest child of Gloria Irma Marquez. My mother never taught us revenge, but she taught us to speak up for what's right. I may not have the loudest voice, but I may have the loudest feelings. Growing up was very difficult for us. I remember there was this part of my life that we lived in a shelter shortly after we had gotten out and found a place to live. We had absolutely nothing besides a mattress on the floor. I would see my mom struggle to have food on the table for us until one day I decided to speak up. I was in the first grade and I was sitting in the alphabet carpet just staring at the floor thinking about the next meal until my teacher started to say, "If you can bring cans of food any type, it's for the people in need. If you know anyone, please let me know." I just remember bursting out in the middle of the carpet. "Yo, miss, we're sleeping on the mattress on the floor and we don't have food. I used to be in a shelter." I just remember my teacher just pulling me out of the classroom and telling me to repeat myself to the other teachers. With my innocent self, I thought I was getting in trouble. After that, I remember it was around Christmas where a lot of people came to where we live and brought us so many things for me and my siblings and my mother. I share this story with you because I had to speak up when I had to, when they asked me for identification for my mother. As much as I wanted to protect her from any legal issues, I spoke up that day that due to her being illegal, her fingerprints are on the record. August 3rd, 2019, a day I will remember for all eternity. That day that changed our lives from going to sleep saying to my mom, "Mañana la veo, la quiero mucho," to waking up to chaos and tragedy. I had a missed call. I called my mom, but there was no answer. I remember calling her partner, who was there with her at that time, and him answering me in such a desperate manner. "Ruby, your mom is inside. I came to grab us coffee and I was pushed out by the people, but I haven't seen Gloria come out. She was on the line to cash out her check." Panicking and trying to stay calm, I asked him what was going on. I started to zone out as soon as he began to say, "There were shots going on. I don't know where they were coming from. Pero Gloria, she was there at the bank." I tried going, but I got pushed out by the people. I remember hearing all the chaos going on behind on the background through the phone. Without saying anything back to him, I rushed to turn on the TV, and there it was. I started asking him, "Are you sure she was there? Are you sure? Have you tried calling her?" Once he told me he didn't see her getting out, and that she was not answering the phone, my heart dropped. It all felt like such a vivid nightmare. I had no choice but to pick up the phone and call my brother and my sisters to tell them what was happening. I never been the strong one, and that day he made me do things that I didn't want to. I had my middle sister driven 4 hours from Albuquerque to El Paso in despair of us finding our mother. I called my brother, felt heavy as soon as he asked me, "Are you sure, Ruby? She was there. How do you know she was there?" I replied, "Sí estaba allí." I began explaining everything to him and what her partner had mentioned to me. Before calling my older sister in Juarez, I called my mom again, hoping she would answer. But it went straight to voicemail. That's when I realized this was really happening. When my older sister answered, I immediately explained to her what was going on. And she started asking me the same questions as my brother. "Ruby, dime si estaba ahí mi mamá. Ruby, contéstame." And I replied, "Sí, Jessica. Te hablo para atrás. En lo que sea que pase, te aviso." I got ready and I headed to Walmart, but I couldn't get through. My brother and I drove until they gave us a place to go, where multiple buses were dropping off anyone who was there at the scene. My sister and I waited for the last bus to arrive, waiting with anticipation and with hope that she was going to come down, but she didn't. We waited at the designated drop until they gave us another place to go. Another place for our questions to be answered, a place where I couldn't stop calling the hospitals, where I kept calling her phone and went straight to voicemail. As I sat there looking around, I knew. I knew because it had been hours. She would have called any of us by now and asked us, "Ven, recójame." But that wasn't the case. The more I look around, there was just a few of us there searching for hope. I began to spread the word, describing that she was a non-English speaker, what she was wearing, how she looked, even posted a picture of her. I also stated that she was an immigrant who will not approach any law enforcement. After another couple of hours, FBI agents and police officers started to tell us in about 10 to 15 minutes there will be updates. As we waited, I became more anxious for answers. I believe that's when we all came united together as a family and as a city. We waited 14 hours with hope and faith, and we prayed. We held hands with strangers around the classroom before we got any news. That following morning, I remember praying in Spanish and English, tightly holding the hand of a stranger. Hearing the silence of our emotions were really loud that morning. My family was one of the first to be notified. I remember us sitting in the chairs with maybe 4 people in front of us, and them letting us know that this individual killed our mother. I remember that everybody reacted differently. As my siblings left out the room with their emotions, I was left there staring at the floor from my chair as the investigators were telling me what was going to happen next and where I could reach him for further questions whenever we were ready. We will never forget August 3rd, a date I've been stuck on, almost going to be 6 years, and I still feel like it's happening this morning. I never had the chance to run away from this or grieve properly. My brother and sisters live out of the city, and I was immediately the point of contact for years. I've been getting everyone on the same page for years. I have dealt with public comments and the news updates of the case. I've dealt with how much this has impacted my life and my health. Every time I hear her name, there's a tightness in my chest that feels like a shot to my body. I wake up sweating from the constant nightmares, dreaming that she's here with me, and then waking up to reality. I dealt with my own depression and anxiety, and I can tell you as much I can say, I am okay. I'm really not okay. I will still call her phone just to hear her voice through her voicemail, but I stopped realizing her number belonged to a stranger now. I stayed as strong as I could have been these years for my mom and my family. Gloria Irma Márquez, mi mamá. Ever since I can remember, mi mamá had always been a strong, hard-working Mexican woman. As the youngest child of a single mother, It was difficult for me to come to this day describing mi hermosa Glorieta. Mi mamá raised my siblings and myself financially, emotionally, physically, and spiritually by herself. Mi mamá gave her all. She worked 2 jobs to make sure her children ate properly and that they had the essential amenities to grow happily and successfully. She would encourage us by simply reminding us that el miedo no existe. Fear does not exist. My siblings and I have and will always taken pride in the appearance of our mother, especially her long, lovely hair. Mi mamá Mi mamá was the essence of truthfulness, love, and sincerity. She showered her family with blessings and lived within us. Mi mamá gave us everything, but she never demanded anything in return. The way she cared for everyone in the family inspired me to be the same in the future. Her love was the purest and kindest, not just for us, but she treated every stranger and animal the same way she treated us. Although she was not very physically strong, mi mamá faced every hurdle of her life and the family by herself. She has motivated me and my siblings to be like her and never submit in difficult times. Mi mamá was a very lovely friend, a strict parent, but she cared for her children. My siblings and I did not like to see our mother sad, and we would do just about anything to bring a smile to her face. Even when she was very worried or sad about something, she would always smile to make us stop worrying about her. Mi mamá was very beautiful and had the kindest eyes I have ever seen. Gloria Irma Márquez, mi Glorieta, mi comadre y mi mamá was the light that guided us in our darkest times. I had always prayed for my mom to have a healthy life so that she could not only live enough to see me through as much of my life as possible, but so she can live happily in love enough to get the most out of her time. I hope that I have made her proud of me, proud of my accomplishments, and proud of the person I have become. She's responsible for the best parts of me, and I pray I have done her justice through my character and behavior. I hope she will let me join her in those things that she put off in order to devote so much of her life on raising us. Just a week before this happened, she had gotten the news that her process of getting a visa will have to wait another 10 years. And I think about that a lot. If it wasn't for my mother seeking for a better life for her children, I wouldn't be here.
But I am beyond blessed that Gloria Irma Marquez was my mother. I wish there would only be 23 inches of length and 22 inches of width in that cell. I want their names to be announced through the intercom of each hour of the day. The insane acknowledgement of actions made by this individual where there was no remorse. He knew what he was doing. He thought about every word he wrote precisely. Someone mental would have been disorientated, but he had the motive of a plan and drove 10 hours to our city. You picked and bought the perfect weapon. Someone mental wouldn't care the place, the time, and the weapon. If they truly wanted to get what they wanted, it would have been done. But you had plenty of time to turn around. It should not even matter if we're black, white, or Hispanic. No one is above anyone. Everyone, absolutely everyone, wants to have a better life. We all want to succeed. We struggle. Some struggle more than others to be sustainable for ourselves and the future for our kids. No one's taking anybody's job. My mom did not put a gun on someone's head to get her jobs. People leave their countries and family behind to follow their dreams. But we're being killed, banned, and these individuals go based on how we look because of our origins are not originally American. Aren't we supposed to follow the Constitution, the Bill of Rights? Where is the land of the free? But you know what I do not know? What is the American dream anymore? Or what home is? I pray to the Lord to help me find peace. I don't understand why there's so much hatred. Unfortunately, racism will never end. We live in such an inhumane society that everything wrong we see is left to be undone, to be okay and live with it. There will never be enough of a punishment for any of this that you caused. I want to tell you how unity and diversity is what I have always known, especially growing up in the borderland. I don't see anyone different from me. We're all here with the same mindset, working hard for a better life. It's been hard for me to express how I've been feeling for the years because I have felt for who I am, for being Hispanic. Everything has been a really big bowl of mixed emotions, but my worst nightmare became a reality. I have always been terrified of losing my mom through deportation, but this is by far the worst way I have lost her. Through a racial act of murder. Words and feelings will never explain the pain on my chest endures. I have asked myself what kind of ignorant mindset was inverted for a young individual almost the same age as me that will now never find peace, never find freedom, never succeed, never be loved or find love, will never live life. Soy mexicana americana y nosotros no nos rajamos. As a proud Mexican American, we don't give up. Look around you. We are everywhere. We are lawyers. We are nurses. We are officers. We are CEOs. We serve our country for the better and for the good. We are what makes America great again. Without us, the country and the economy will go down. We are the ones who do the dirty work for the lazy, pathetic people like you. You know what my mother would say to you? Pinche pendejo, vales verga. Amárrate un pinche huevo y ponte las pilas y ponte a trabajar. Fucking dumbass. You ain't shit. Grab your balls, get your shit together, and find a job. You thought it was easy, but it only gets harder for you over the years. You won't sleep at night because the famous saying that we all Mexican mothers say, el día que yo me muera, te voy a jalar las patas. The day I die, I'll be pulling you by your feet. And I know she is. I know she's not letting you sleep at night. I know they haunt you for the pain you caused, and you fail. You're a waste of human being. To the El Paso community for all these years, for the people who stood by us and walked with us throughout the years, I want to say thank you. This community showed me and all of us resilience when we all needed it. Don't forget where El Paso Strong came from. It came from a small community that rose up and made everyone strong. And for that, I am beyond grateful. I wish I could hug every single person affected by this, the families, the survivors, and the wounded. There's never a day I don't think about every one of you and what you guys had to endure that day. That's all.
Are you joining us?
Yes.
Hello. If many of you didn't know, my brother was Javier. Is Javier. He was only 15. My name is Joanna, by the way. He was only 15 years old when he was killed by this idiot over here. If you can look at him, please look up and look at him. He was only 15 when you took his life. He was born and raised in Georgia. He was born in Georgia. We moved over here, raised in El Paso. He started playing soccer at around the age of 6, all the way through high school, which, mind you, he never got to finish. He loved playing video games, such as Minecraft and Fortnite. Those were his favorites. And he didn't really like going to school much and found creative ways to try and get out of it. That's what made him a kid. He was a 15-year-old who will never get a chance to grow up and chase his dreams. He never got to graduate high school. He will never get a chance to get married, travel, or have kids. All of that was stolen by someone who claimed to be mentally ill, someone who made the choice to take my brother's life and the life of 22 others, while also injuring many and traumatizing an entire community. Let me be clear. Racism isn't a mental illness. I hope everyone hears that. Mental illness does not drive you to travel hundreds of miles just to target a Hispanic community. Because of your hate and racism, my little brother is gone. He had so many dreams, like being in the Border Patrol. He had his whole life ahead of him, but you took that away from him. You took him away from me, from my family, and his friends. He was everything to me. And now I have to grow up without him. He was and will always be my little brother. No matter how much time passes, that pain doesn't fade and never will. His absence isn't everything. In the quiet moments, in the noise, in every family photo where he should be. Losing him to something as hateful and senseless as racism has changed me forever. There's a version of my life that doesn't exist anymore. The one where he grew up, chased his dreams and goals, and I got to watch him become everything he wanted to be. We have a youngest brother. He was 2 around the time, now 8, and now he has and will continue to grow up without hearing his voice or know the person that he was. He will only get to know my brother through the stories we share, the photos, and the love he left behind. He will never get to create his own memories with him, share experiences, or his own conversations with him. Real human change needs to happen, because what happened to my brother shouldn't happen to anyone else. not to a child, not to a parent, not to a friend, and not to a neighbor. Not to anyone in the Hispanic community or any community anywhere. Hate and gun violence are stealing lives, beautiful lives, and leaving behind silence, grief, and trauma that fully never heals. This isn't just my story. It's happening too often to too many families, and we can't afford to look away anymore. So speak up, show up, vote like life depends on it, because it does, and stand against racism, against hate, against violence, and protect each other, protect your communities, and most importantly, protect the humanity in all of us. Thank you. I will be giving another statement on behalf of my family. On August 3rd, 2019, around 10:35 in the morning, you ended my life, me, Javier Amir Rodriguez, the 15-year-old boy, the youngest of your victims of August 3rd, 2019. I want to tell you that I was a young man who had goals and dreams for my life, was studying the second year of high school, and you came and took away all the plans that I had for my future. I was a great soccer player. I managed to win trophies and medals for my own merit and effort in various local, state, and national tournaments. My dream was to be a border patrol agent. What an irony, right, coward? And in the future, probably start a family. Almost 6 years have passed where I had to live without my friends and family. Those adolescent things that are never forgotten. Just as my friends and family do not forget me, I am sure and hope I can hang out with them exploring all the new things for our lives. Right now, I would be in college studying law enforcement. Start my dream in my professional area life. My family. They suffer my absence every day because of you. Parties and dinners or simply meetings are not the same because they will always lack one. Maybe I would have already met or who was meeting the love of my life, the woman who I would probably spend my life, and we would form something great for the two of us and for our future children. But no, it was easy for you to come from another place and shoot me and kill me and take my life away. And break the heart of my father, my mother, my sister, and all the people who still love me and mourn my absence every time they hear a song, they see my photos, videos, my birthday, in which my father and all my family still celebrate, in the cemetery without me being able to blow my candles and make a wish. Or when the day approaches that you came and destroyed the peace of all the families in the city, engrave my name well in your mind, in your twisted mind, Javier Amir Rodriguez. Because my family, that you don't know either, acclaims justice for me and the other 22 innocent victims whose lives you took from us, with your cruelty and immaturity that you have been dragging since your childhood. Fuck you, you white piece of trash. Thank you, Your Honor.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do need to take a 10-minute break and then we will resume.
There he is.
Nice.
What's your name? You still looking for? No, that's big. I know. Well, Manu does it. Yeah, now he's getting involved with it. It's like a movie like that. What's it? Yes.
Did they tell us that there's two that's really they're going to straighten them up, right? Because I told you that
Good. Cameras? Yeah, you're set. Okay. All right. Anything else you guys do?
We see you be at the same. I think right now. You'll go out, obviously. Escort him back out. Yes, correct.
Thank you, Louis. Still have 5 more minutes. Yeah, absolutely.
Just behind the state.
That's fine, because we still have 2 more statements. Oh, you do? So, yeah. But
We're not gonna, I'm not gonna.
there's still 2 more statements that the victim, they're not actual victims. They want the victim specialist read. So it's 2 more. They're reading for them.
Oh, okay.
On behalf of them.
Got it.
Is it all for today?
That's we'll be done. We just got 2 more statements. Victim specialist. Saying it. 2 more. 2 more readings. That's it. Coming right through.
Switch. If they I can stand it.
Yeah, we're gonna, the judge is here, so he's probably coming. I guess I that's what we're trying to figure out. We think he's going to see the judge first. Once he gets everybody seated, I'm going to Hold on. Is the judge coming in first? Is the judge coming in? Is that the judge?
please. Be seated, please. Mándeme.
Señor juez, soy Adriana Sandri, esposa de Iván Manzano, fallecido en el tiroteo, y quería pedirle un permiso por mí y por mis hijos, para abrazar al señor Patrick.
Your Honor, I would like to ask you for permission on behalf of me and my children to give Patrick a hug.
Ma'am, would that help you and your family seek comfort, peace, and healing?
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. My name is Deandra Acosta. I am a victim advocate on the behalf of the District Attorney's Office. I'm reading this victim impact statement on behalf of Raul. I'm sorry. This is going to be for Isabel Pierda. She is the daughter of Rosa Baron. On August 3rd, 2019, my family's life and the lives of so many others were shattered. My mother and my sister were both shot that day while simply doing what people do every day: shopping, living, existing. They survived, but they carry wounds that go far deeper than the bullets. The pain is daily, both physical and emotional. My aunt wasn't so fortunate. She lost her life in that attack. She was kind, selfless, and full of love. Her absence leaves a permanent hole in our family. What happened that day was not an accident. It was a deliberate act of hatred and cruelty. My family was targeted because of who they are, because we are Latino. That pain will never fully heal. There is no justification, no explanation, no apology that can undo what was done. But we are still here, and we remember. Every scar, every nightmare, every tear reminds us of what we lived through and what he took from us. We carry our grief, but we also carry strength. He tried to break us to instill fear, and instead we found resilience. The man responsible will spend the rest of his life in prison, and that is justice in its own way. But his real punishment is knowing that he failed. We are still here, and so is our voice. He will spend the rest of his life in prison, and he will carry the weight of what he did, and that is justice. But it will never bring my aunt back. It will never erase the trauma. Still, I find strength in knowing that he will never be free again. And I find strength in the community that rose up after that tragedy. El Paso Strong was more than a slogan. It became our lifeline. To the court, I ask that you remember our names, remember our stories, and we are not numbers. We are not just victims. We are people who lived, loved, and lost. And we will never forget. We are living proof that hate does not win. Signed, Isabel Pierda. Thank you. And I do have a second victim impact statement. This is going to be on behalf of Raul Bobby Loya. I have thought a lot about the hate you provided that day when you did your massacre. I hope when you're sitting in prison, you think long and hard about what you did. And I hope for the remainder of your life, the people that you murdered linger in your thoughts forever. I hope that it drives you crazy, as it will be your true punishment. There will be no one to hear you. I hope they stick you in the hole, throw away the key, and you never get to see the light of day. The people that you murdered will be in our memories, and instead of crying for them, they will be immortalized, and they will be remembered forever. And as for you, you will be forgotten after a few weeks in the hole where you belong. Signed, Raul Bobby Loya. Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Montoya, have all your families given the statements that they wish to give in these proceedings?
The ones that wish to speak, yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Sheriff, please escort him out of our courtroom. Sheriff, please make arrangements to get him to the Texas Department of Criminal Justice.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the proceedings in this case. This court is adjourned.
All right, please.
Thank you. Be seated.